Good afternoon. It's Brian Shannon from Alpha Trends Blogspot. Today's Thursday, the 31st of May, 2007, and I've got the S&P 500 on the screen right now. I wanted to start out with a monthly time frame to show you where we are and the fact that for those people who sold in May and then went away, they missed a very good month because the market is closing up near these all-time closing highs. And don't really look at this as resistance. It's a potential level of resistance, but this market has some very strong momentum. I see people calling this a double top. Check your technical analysis book. This isn't what a double top looks like. I'm not going to go on that tangent again. But the market is very strong. 2 days ago, I was before I had some troubles with the internet. I've been down for the last 36 hours or so. The spiders, I was a little bit concerned that we might have a little bit further pullback because we were below the declining 5-day moving average. Yesterday, it got nicely above that level and also took out the resistance at 152.50, and now we're up at all-time highs for the S&P 500. There's no signs of pullback. The market was up 2 cents today, and it just a real nice uptrend, and the shorts continue to get hurt very badly in this market. I think that a little bit of support maybe tomorrow near 153 is a level we want to be aware of, and then closer down to that 152.50 level is what we want to look at as well. The Nasdaq 100, I've already got these lines on here because I've already recorded this, but unfortunately left the volume out. But anyways, let's take a look at these, the Nasdaq 100. I was also a little bit concerned in here because it looked like we were getting a false breakout in the Nasdaq 100. It came back into this range, and I figured that maybe we were due for a little bit more of a pause. That didn't happen. The buyers are back in control, and we've got a great bull market here. So we've got to look at this level of resistance at 46.80 was taken out yesterday, and the buyers are clearly back in control with multi-year highs in the Nasdaq, in the S&P 500, and also in the IWM, where this market had been the strongest and continues to be the strongest, at least on the longer-term time frames. You can see it's been at all-time highs for 4 years now. But on this daily time frame, we saw it retake out that $83 level and close above it 3 days ago. This is clearly where the strength is in this market, and continues to be, and continues to run over the people who look for the reasons that just don't exist to sell short. Never sell short an uptrending market, and that's what we've got here. The semiconductors, I wish that my recordings had worked yesterday because I was getting bullish, and in fact bought some calls on the S&P, not the S&P, but the semiconductors. If you recall, this 36 level I thought was important because it was this level of the big breakout that probably I thought was going to act as support in here. And I was also looking at, we've got that rising 50-day moving average of the 10-week as we see in here. Here's that 50-day. 2 days ago, I was hoping for a test of these lows right in here. We got that test yesterday, and in fact, it tied it exactly. And I was also looking for this MACD divergence, and that's exactly what we did have. We saw a test of the lows. We saw the MACD divergence. So I decided to buy some calls right in here yesterday afternoon. I continue to think that the buyers are back in control of the semiconductors. I think a near-term target is up near 37.20 or so, near that 20-day moving average. But longer term, I think that the semiconductors can provide some leadership for this market to continue higher. So market's still looking very bullish. Let's take a look at the stocks we've been involved in recently. We got involved in TASR at 932. We'd sold half last week at $10.40, and then that was on the intraday update on Friday. Probably should have gotten out of that today right here, or maybe yesterday as it started pulling back in. But I'm going to say we're officially out of TASR with a very nice gain. By the way, keep your eye on this stock, Stinger, S-T-I-Y. This has been on my list. I bid for it in here on this day. I was being cheap about it because it's a bulletin board stock. But if you read the headlines, what you'll see is STIY, that this is potentially the next TASER. They got some headlines recently about some police departments trading in their tasers for these Stinger weapons. I didn't read the news today, but it was whatever it was good enough to make the stock double. I think the stock is maybe just beginning. It's clearly extended here, but I think it's got room, and with the hype that we saw with TASER early on in its run, maybe we could see something similar with this Stinger. It is bulletin board though, so be careful with it. I'm not going to probably mention it again except for just keep your eye on it. United, UNTD, we got involved right here at 1640. I think we got stopped out yesterday. just before it really began to rally. And in Akamai, the short sale we got involved in right over here at $42.80, and we're stopped out yesterday with a gain of about 50 cents.